Hello everyone, here I am in another video. And well, I already recorded two videos and I decided to not post them because I don't know, I wasn't very satisfied with the result of them. So I decided not to post it. But right now, I'm recording a video. I'll post this video and I hope you enjoy it. And today I decided to talk about low self-esteem. It was something that I've been dealing I still deal with that actually. Since I was a young person, and I know many girls around here deal with that, and I remember when I was younger, YouTube was something that really makes me worry about it and find people who understood what I was feeling and actually helped me to overcame it. I'm not saying that I'm completely good right now, but I'm much better and I really want to help you to overcome your low self-esteem. I know how hard it is. I know how it's like to deal with this. I'm not a person who is trying to talk about it and make money from this. No, I would like to make money, but let's not talk about it. But it was something that I really dealt with and I actually still deal with it. And I can understand how you feel, and I really want to give you some advices of how you can feel better about yourself and even some tips that can help you with this journey, okay? So, well, with the rise of Instagram and TikTok, comparison is something that is impossible for us not to do. When I was younger, actually TikTok was not trend. Actually, we had Musically. I don't know if some of you still remember this app, but it wasn't very famous. So this kind of platforms of short videos, they were not popular. So we had Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. And since then, we compared ourselves so much. When I was around 12, we were in the top moment of Kardashian and Jenner's life. So it was very common for young girls to compare them to themselves to them. So for me, for example, I compare myself a lot with the Kardashians and most part of my classmates as well. Because back then celebrities were the power. Where they were still the power, even though most part of Kardashians and Jenners, they're not exactly celebrities, but right now I guess they are, is undoubtedly. But back then they were more like internet celebrities, but they were rich, they were seen with celebrities most part of times. But nowadays, we have a different kind of influencers. And these influencers, they are much closer to us, which makes us compare ourselves to them even more. Because as we see the girl who comes from our country and she's not that rich, she's not so greater like the Kardashians were, but she's pretty, she's perfect, she has a perfect life, and it's impossible for us not to compare our appearance and our likes to theirs. It's impossible because, as I said, right now the influencers are much closer to us. Like then it was the starting, like Kardashians and Jenners, they were the start of this movement, but they were famous. They came from a rich family. They, as I said, they were seen with the celebrities. And for example, Kim Kardashian, she was really friend of Paris Hilton, so they weren't unknown. But right now, we see many unknown people getting famous overnight because of these platforms and because they were pretty. And there are many interesting videos about pretty privilege and how to be pretty helps you in this platform. And well, as I said, it's impossible for us not to compare, even because today is much easier for us to compare to them. And I wanted to talk about it because, as I said, when I was younger, we only had Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. Right now we have Twitter. We have back then we had Twitter, okay, but it wasn't so popular like it is again. Like we had a raise of Twitter, but we had Twitter, we had TikTok, and many other social media, and we're always comparing ourselves. And back then as well, if you can remember a bit of how Instagram worked, we didn't have access to people who weren't close to us. So basically, most part of things we've seen in Instagram was posted by friends, was posted by family, and right now we have much more access to other people content. Right now, Instagram is a social media and people make money from that. I'm talking about a time where the top names of Instagram were celebrities. We didn't have influencers exactly like we have now. Of course, we had other media like Tumblr. Many popular girls came from that, but it was much more, you know, it was like a niche. They weren't so popular in all the media like they were then now. So um, as I said, today is much easier for us to compare because this content came, this one, this content come from first, even when we don't want it. So you're basically there scrolling your Instagram, your YouTube, your TikTok, and we start to see these pretty girls, and you start to feel even worse. And well, as I said, I dealt with that because I was a really insecure girl. And most part of girls with low self-esteem, they are insecure. And the first point for you to overcome your low self-esteem is to understand what makes you feel insecure. Because nobody were born insecure. Something in your life makes you feel insecure. Someone told you something that kind of put this insecurity in your mind. For me, for example, it was my family, and I am still healing this inside me because in most part of my childhood, I heard that I wasn't pretty. You know, that my hair, because it was curly, it was ugly, that my skin tone, because I may seem a bit white in this light, but I'm not that white. I'm kind of have a olive skin, and most part of my family, they are like really white, and they were always talking about my skin tone and how my sister were prettier because she's blonde with, you know, like bright eyes, things that I don't have. And it really make me feel insecure, and everything got worse when I gained some weight because of a health problem. I had a really bad health problem back then. I had to take many medicines. And because of that, I became really fat, basically. And I was 9 years old, something around it. And my family, they were terrible for to me. They were always criticizing me because of my weight and saying how I was ugly, and started to compare me to other girls. And it was so hard to deal with because I was very young. I didn't understand what was the problem of being fat because for me it was normal. Okay, I gained some weight. I didn't care so much about my appearance because I was a kid, basically. And because of that, I started to get obsessed with my appearance. And even today, for me, to get fat is a trauma. I'm really scared of being fat again. And I suffer a lot because of that with eating disorder, and everything started to get worse. I started to hate my hair. I started to hate my skin. I started to hate everything. And with that, we came with comparison. Because as I said, Kardashians back then, they were a trend, and they put some standards that were, you know, like impossible to get. So they had a really curvy body with a slim waist, and they were really thin, but at the same time they were hot. And I was only 12 years old, comparing myself to grown adults because I was taught to compare myself. I was thought that I was ugly, and because of that, I had to feel insecure. Because of that, I wasn't pretty enough, and I should feel bad about it. You understand? So that was from where it came from, basically. My insecurity came from those comments about my appearance that I started to get since I was a young child. And what about you? I know that unfortunately this is really common, especially in Asian families. I'm not Asian, as you can see. I'm not Asian, but I came from a really conservative family, so they're not very different from Asian people. But um, so the first step for you to overcome your low self-esteem is to understand from where your insecurities come, and you have to heal this part of it. You have to understand that you're not what that people say. You're not, you shouldn't feel bad about those kind of things. So it's kind of, you have to treat your mind. And with that, unfortunately, I know this is not easy because I'm not completely good with that. But in some point, you have also to forgive these people. You have also to, you know, understand that these people is also a victim of this system, and even though they did a bad thing to you, they were trying to do the best thing. I know this is not easy, but it is a step for you to heal yourself, so you should try it. Another thing that really helped me to overcome my low self-esteem was to understand what is pretty on me and learn how to make it shine. I made a video about it. I will put in the card. And talking about how to find a personal style. And I briefly talk about keeping body type. It really helped me to understand what makes me better, what makes me prettier and all, and understanding and putting in practice helped me to feel better about myself because many times I was forcing myself to fit in a standard that doesn't match with my personality and even with my personal traits. So I was trying to make a version of myself that only copies, I don't know, that only try to imitate what other people was doing. So if an influencer said, "Oh, this is a good product. You have to try this type of makeup," I was always trying to follow these trends because I didn't know what made me pretty. And once I understand this, it really helped me to feel better about myself, understand what kind of makeup made me shine, what kind of clothes make me shine, what kind of hairstyle make me shine. All those things really helped me to feel better. I know this is not the kind of um advice you wait, but once when once you start to study about your face, study about your personal traits, and try to understand what will make you prettier, it surely will help you. And you see that once you understand it, it will not be something that will feel like you're forced to follow. No, you're doing this because you know it'll make you feel better. And this is not hard things to make. It is simple things, like something like change your haircut, you know, you know, um, try a different makeup style. You don't have to buy new products. It only change the way you make your makeup. um Choose the right colors for you, choose the right clothes for to you. This is, it doesn't have to be hard. It's not about putting lip filler and all those things. No, even though you don't have the most full lips, you find a makeup style that will make your lip shine even though they are not big lips. It is an example. Hope you understand. So try to study about your personal traits, understand about your ethnicity, understand about all the things that you already have and how you can make it shine. You know, as I said, if it helps you, watch the video I made about it. It will surely help you. And once you understand all those things, you start to be more realistic about yourself. And right now, as I said, I didn't actually overcame my low self-esteem. I don't feel like I'm the prettier girl in the world, that I'm the most beautiful girl around my country at all. I know I'm not the prettier girl. I know that. I know there are many pretty girls out there that are much more beautiful than I am, but I'm satisfied with who I am, even though I'm not that pretty. But I know I'm trying my best. And since I have this self care with myself, I can see that I feel better about me. I feel good about me, even though I'm not the prettier one. And that's okay. You don't have to be the most pretty girl, no, the most beautiful girl at your school, at your city, at your church. I don't know. You don't have to be the girl. But once you feel satisfied with who you are, that's the right place for you. So even though you're not the prettier girl out there, if you're feeling happy and if you're feeling good about yourself, this is important. You know, we have so much pressure to be the best, to be the one, and sometimes you just don't have to be the one. You only have to be yourself. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about your style. So, for example, yesterday I was at a restaurant and I saw a girl with a really had her red hair. She had a lot of tattoos and piercings and all. And I thought, my God, I would never do this kind of thing. But I've seen that she was feeling pretty. She was with her boyfriend, and I've seen her boyfriend looking at her, and he was in love with her. So, why does she have to fit on the standards when she's feeling pretty the way she is, with the style she likes? That's the main point. You don't have to follow the right style. You know, you don't have to look like a Victoria's Secret's model. As long as you feel good with your personal style and respect this part of you, you know. So for me, this is the best way for you to feel really good about yourself and overcome your low self-esteem. Stop to compare yourself to girls that you don't actually want to be like. You're only comparing to them because they got some kind of attention because of her appearance. But in the end of the day, most part of the time, the only thing she has is appearance. She doesn't have anything more. She doesn't have a personal taste about anything she does. Only her appearance. And sometimes you have your own personality and represent this through your style, through your taste, and no, it's much more important than being a pretty face, you know? So for me, it was much better. I started to feel even better when I understand this, when I started to feel realistic about who I am. I know that I'm not the prettiest girl. I know that. And I'm okay with that as well. I don't have to be the prettiest girl. What will I gain from that? Nothing. It won't change my life anyway. So I'm okay with my current appearance. Of course, I want to make some change. I will never be completely satisfied. I really want to get a nose job. My dream. My dream is to get a nose job. But um, I also don't feel so pressured about making so many changes in my face because right now, thank God, I don't compare myself anymore with any girl out there. I'm not comparing my appearance to theirs because what is the point of doing that? In the end of the day, this is my face. This is my ethnicity. This is the face that were a mix of many people that came before me, and nothing can change this. Nothing. And as I said, I'm not saying that you should look ugly, because unfortunately we live in a world where appearance is important. I won't deny it. Appearance is important. But as I said, don't force yourself. Don't make yourself put your life on risk because of this media pressure to look perfect. Don't make it. Look good in the way you can. And my last advice is have a have a self-care routine, you know. Take a good shower, finish your hair, have a makeup every single day. At least if you only put mascara and lipstick, even though some people are saying that mascara are not on trend anymore, but do a style of makeup that you like. And maybe only a concealer and a blush and a gloss, but try to do something. Take care of yourself, you know. Use moisturizer, have a skincare routine. All those things, they seem silly, but they are not silly because it makes you love yourself. It makes you remember that you take care of you, that you care about your self being, you know? So take care of yourself. As I said, some people don't think this is important, but it is actually really important. Even though you don't will not look like Hailey Bieber after a shower, but if you're doing this, is much better than do nothing. You know, so if you're trying to do something, if you're having a makeup done, if you're dressing up, if you're, styling your hair, as I said, representing your style through your appearance and all, it really makes you feel loved by yourself. And the greatest thing you can do to overcome low self-esteem is, of course, love yourself, because you will only be able to love others if you love yourself first, you know. And as I said, if you try to put these tips on practice, of course with time you start to compare yourself much less and feel better about yourself as well. So this is some things I've been doing all those years. I know this is not easy. Sometimes I have a low self-esteem crisis as well because I'm a person, I'm a woman. So it's impossible for me to not compare myself. But as I said, it's much less frequent as it was when I was a teenager. So this is my tips for you, my girl. I really hope I helped you. If you want to, I can make another video with some more tips if all those tips are not enough. And I hope you have a good day, a good night. Anyway, so bye.